Hello there, Board Game Maniacs, and thanks for joining me for this exciting game of HellBoy, the board game by Maniac Games. All this theme month we are going to be playing. Theme month is going to be solo games, which means I'm going to be playing games that are solo. It could be a game that is for 2 players or more, but I'm going to control 2 players. And it's just going to be me playing it to give Brady a break from doing his Gone Digital last month. Go check it out if you haven't already. Stay tuned and let's get into this game. This is the case file that we are playing. It is case file number 126779, Eviction Notice. Woo-hoo. I've never played this one. This is kind of like your tutorial mission that you're going to play, but we changed it up by giving different encounter cards into it and playing with different characters, what they suggest out of the book. Into the book that I'm talking about is Learning to Play. So that's that, and now let's look at the eviction notice, all the information on here. It states, frogs, like snakes, scorpions, ravens, and black cats, are traditionally considered harbingers of doom. This is born out of folklore such as one from Africa, which sees a man's prayer for eternal life ruined by a frog who sees a bleak future for his own species should man flourish. It's kind of blurry, kind of shiny here as I change, but hopefully you'll be able to follow along with me. I'm just going to narrate it anyhow. It's no coincidence, then, that the chief minion of the Ogdura Jarhad are the Frogmonsters. These amphibian hybrids are able to shapeshift, taking the form of men to further their never-ending quest to bring about the end of the world as we know it. One of our field teams has cornered a particularly large specimen in an underground crypt. Agents are to report to the scene and deal with this threat before it escapes. The challenge rating is easy, duration is short. Oh, we're gonna flip this over now. And it says Deca Doom Set Up. It tells you how to set the Deca Doom, which I did. I kind of cheated by looking ahead for some of this. And Encounter Deck Setup, we did that too as well. And we are playing with 2 agents today, so it's one of the blue symbols with, it looks like an I and 2 red M's. And the game board layout is as such. And on the bottom it says, discard after placing encounter card. You can see there I got the board all set up. And at this point, let's talk about who I picked to play this game. And again, it is into the quick reference book, but we are not going off of the quick reference book. Like, we're kind of setting it up as a mission that is going to be kind of ongoing. If we do continue, if we do decide to play like an ongoing mission for this or what have you, it just, you know, that's just what we're doing. And the book is the tutorial book. Read this first. Getting ready. So that's kind of what it follows here too as well. But again, it says it recommends that you use HellBoy and Abe Sapien for this, but we are changing it up because I bought into the Kickstarter campaign and I got all this awesome goodness with different characters and so on, so why not use them? And as I said before, if you want to check out more HellBoy, the board game gameplay on our channel, I have videos that Brady and I played and Maniac Katie too as well in the past for one of the theme months, so you can go check that out too as well. But anyway, let's carry on and let's take a look at our characters, what we're doing, and also our requisition points. In each scenario, you usually start off with 8 requisition points, but we're starting off with 10, and I'll explain that in a second. But you can see I have HellBoy here, and he's the HellBoy that you get into the standard game, and he has some special rules. I'm not going to go over this, and unique actions, his wounds and everything, but I will go over what he has for his requisition points. So he starts automatically off with deep pockets because it says here HellBoy pistol and deep pockets. And for deep pockets, it says flip this card during the agent phase to draw from the bottom of the requisition deck until you find a grenade, ammo or luck card. Keep it and return any others to the deck. And HellBoy's pistol, range weapon. If the target is hit, it suffers 5 additional damage. Flip this card after use. And for requisition cards, you can see there's point values onto them. So HellBoy has a total of 5. And, well, he could have more depending, but I kind of broke them up equally into the 2 different characters. So HellBoy purchased field dressings. Spend an action to heal up to a total of 2 damage from your agent and or another agent in your area, then flip this card. And the Lich Candle. During the action phase, light a candle by flipping this card. When you do, return a spent action cube to your card. And last but not least is BPRD Headquarters Comlinks. When you make an investigation rest action, advance the information gather track 3 times instead of twice, then flip this card. And that is it for HellBoy's card and what he got for requisition points. The next character that we picked is Scott Clark. Now again, this here is one of the expansions that came with the Kickstarter, and you'll see all of this after when we start going through, because I'm not going to go through all the detail of this. But Scott starts off with the BPRD sidearm, and it says here it's a ranged weapon. If you roll a skull when using this weapon, flip this card in addition to the normal effects of a skull result. And for his requisition, again, he has 5 too as well. 3, you can see there, +1 is 5. He has submachine gun, ranged weapon. When you shoot with this weapon, you can target 1 additional enemy in the target area. If you roll a skull when using this weapon, flip this card in addition to the normal effects of a skull result. He also has field dressings. Spend an action to heal up to a total of 2 damage from your agent and or another agent in your area, then flip this card. The reason why it's really important for Scott to have this, as you can see, he only has 4 wounds, as HellBoy has 6. So HellBoy's more of a tank. He is going to take a little bit more damage. Less damage to hurt him, I should say. And also, Lucky Charm. Flip this card to ignore all damage inflicted on your agent by a single attack or game effect. You can see the theme here for that is that it's relying a lot onto his health to keep him in the game as much as possible. You can see there's a shot of the 2 miniatures. We have HellBoy and we have Scott right there, Scott Clark. These doors, as I've used these in other games for HellBoy, they don't come in a box set. This is off another game, which I'm not going to mention, but I just like using all 3D elements as possible. So you can see there's 3 doors here and a total of starting tile 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles. So one thing I want to point out here is that each of these tiles is a room, and each of these tiles, if they have spaces like a line, you can barely see there, but there's a line. These are areas. So 2 areas, 2 areas, 1 area in 1 room, and 4 areas in 1 room. Just be aware of that. I have my Deca Doom set up according to what it's stated in the book, and also for this mission, like I said, I kind of just snuck around a little bit more just so that we can get the game a little bit quicker set up. Oh, gotta move that there. And HellBoy obviously is first in target priority because he has a threat rating of 10, as Scott has a threat rating of 6. Now, continuing on with the BPRD case file. I keep reversing that. Put an insight marker on space 2, 4, and 8 of the information gather track. You can see 2, 4, and 8. And this is the information gather track because of the book. And that's a pending doom right there because of the tentacles wrapping around HellBoy's hand, his right hand of doom. Put a reaction marker on this card and its matching trigger marker on the following space of the impending doom track, determined by the number of agents. And we have 2 agents, so space 5, 6, 7. You can see right there where my thumb is. So we have to put a marker on the impending doom track of 7, so right there. And the other one will go on this card. If the impending doom marker reaches the trigger marker, roll if all the agents are knocked out at the same time, skip to the end phase. Flip this card at the end of the phase. Move this card to the in-play area. Discard is if the confrontation begins. Alright, so I'm just going to place this back down here. Now there's more cards underneath them, but it does say in the rule book that when you are reading these or when you're picking them up to read them, treat the whole stack as one card because you don't want to spoil it by looking behind. So we take this card here and we place it in the in-play area, which you can see right there. Also too as well, we have to put the trigger marker A, which matches the marker here on the impending doom track. So once we hit that, this is going to kick in. And now the next card underneath, it says, move this card to the in-play area. If the agents take time, flip this card immediately after advancing the impending doom track. All right, you'll know what impending doom is and everything else after we go through. So that goes there too as well. There's stuff on the other side of this card, which I'm not revealing yet. I don't even know what it is yet because I didn't flip over. Now this here also, it's got a little bit of flavor text here. You head underground where you see obvious signs of Frogmonster infestation. Yeah, your target should be around here somewhere. Clear out its brood and it'll have no choice but to show itself. Now it tells me here to prepare the minion slot as follows. I just had to pause the camera there because my dice box was kind of stopping me from placing down my cards for the minion slots, which are there like A, B, C, and D. But it tells me here, minion A is a Rampaging Frogmonster. So you can see here the Rampaging Frogmonster. 2 moves, 2 resilient, health is 6, 0 range, range attack is 0, melee attack is 5. Ooh. And it does have special abilities, which is Paralyzed Tongue. If Skull is rolled when testing defense against this enemy attacks, the target agent discovers an action cube in addition to the normal effects of the Skull result. Very bad. And there's a shot of what he looks like. Woo! In slot B, it's Venomous Frogmonster. Move 2, resilient 2, health 6, range 2, range attack 5, melee attack 5. Paralyzed Tongue. If a skull is rolled when testing defense against this enemy attack, the target agent discards an action cube in addition to the normal effects. So it's the same thing. And in C, it's the Armed Frogmonster. Oh, actually, I'll show you the Venomous Frogmonster, what he looks like. See right there. And the Armed Frogmonster is minion C. And 2 move, 2 resilient, 6 health, 0 range, 0 range attack, and 7 melee attack. Counter attack. If a skull is rolled when making a fight test, if the target test that targets this enemy, the agent making the test suffers 2 damage in addition to the normal effects of the skull result. And last but not least, in slot D is Transforming Frogmonster. It is 2 for move, resilience 1, health 4, range 0, range attack 0, melee attack 4. Metamorphosis. When this enemy is activated, roll a yellow die. On a score of 1, it is removed and replaced with the Rampaging Frogmonster, which activates immediately. If there are no Rampaging Frogmonsters available, do not roll. So he can transform, and I'll show you what he looks like. So he's got a shirt on, you know, he's kind of like more of the humanoid form than anybody else. But, you know, the Armed Frogmonster, he's got that big stick with a hook onto it that he could probably do some horrific damage. Pretty bad, but anyhow, that is it for the minions that we are fighting so far. And continuing on with the case file, it does say, if all rooms have been explored and there are no minions on the board in the end phase, flip this card. So that's what we have to do and begin the first round. So now we're going to start our gameplay because we have everything set up. So we're on to round number 1. For round number 1, usually it is the enemies phase that goes first, but because there's no enemies on the board, we have to go with the agent phase. So agents have actions that they can perform, but some cost action points by using a cube, which you can see here. There's 3 cubes in total that each agent has. And then some free actions are like examine. Not examine, it's like explore, I think it's called. Interact with enemies in your area, clear. Free action, oh sorry, it's explore is the free action. Sorry, it's been a long time since I played this, so if I do get rules mistakes, please comment down below and let me know what they are. Refer to a page number in the book and also timestamp the video so I know what it is that I need to learn to play this game further. But anyhow, let's activate Scott Clark first. Scott Clark is just moving up. HellBoy's kind of hanging out. So he's still, that didn't count as an action because he's still in the same room. It's a single area single room. So he's going to do a free explore action, which is opening this door. He explored the room, so what we do is we flip this over and we're going to populate. Now again, it did call for specific encounter cards, but because we're not playing specifically the tutorial mission, we're just using this as one of the missions, I replace them with shuffled, randomized cards with the symbols that they do request. And what I mean by the symbol, as you can see right there, it's an M. Can't really get it in focus. There we go. So the red M. But you can see here, so this is a 2-room. So 1 and 2 go here, 3 and 4 go there. And it states, room 1 is minion A, 2 is clue, 3 is minion D, and 4 is a sinister bird. Oh, I hate them sinister birds. Anyhow, I'll populate that and we'll be back. Now, when I say sinister bird, there it is right there. It is a new rule. Again, this is one of the expansions. This card features rules for the sinister bird. If any are placed on the board, refer to the rules on the back of this card. And we all know that one is on the board. So on the back here, it tells us, like Frog Swarm, sinister birds are not enemies. They can be removed from the board by anything that would remove a Frog Swarm. For example, a clear action or a secure rest action. Agents downgrade 1 die for any test for each sinister bird on the board. So it don't have to be in the same area, it's just as long as there's one on the board, which sucks. In the Doom phase, draw a card from the deck of Doom for each sinister bird on the board. If there are no sinister birds on the board, draw 1 as normal. In the end phase, if there are 3 or more sinister birds on the board, each one is removed and replaced with a harpy. Oh, them harpies are horrible. If there are not enough harpies, the lead agent chooses which sinister birds are replaced. Any others stay as they are. So that is new rules for the sinister bird. And you can see there we got the board all populated. So right here we have a rampaging Frogmonster and the clue. There's like dead bodies. It's very ominous here, but you know, they know that something really bad is in this layer where the Frogmonster is. The Frogmonsters, because there's already dead bodies that actually probably encountered them and failed miserably. In here we have the transforming Frogmonster, and we also have the horrible, horrible, horrible sinister bird. Ugh, I don't like them at all. So that was a free explore action. So now we have to continue on with Scott Clark. Oh, what is he gonna do? Scott can shoot at the rampaging Frogmonster. Now, remember Tuzo's paralyzing tongue. If a skull is rolled when testing defense against this enemy, but we don't have to worry about that right yet. So where he is shooting and there is this crappy bird, the sinister bird on the board, he would get downgraded on his die. So when I say by downgrading, you can see here for Scott, he has 3 orange dice he'd roll, but he would downgrade one of them to get 2 orange and 1 yellow. But he has a special ability, which is unique action, called shot. Make a shoot action, ignore up to 3 downgrade caused by other characters in the target area of the obstructing the shot. Ignore up to 3 downgrades caused by other characters. Oh, so that's only if there was like somebody else blocking the shot, so that wouldn't apply. So he's going to have to do a downgrade. So he's going to spend one of his action cubes to make a shot. And I'm just wondering if he should shoot with his submachine gun or his BPRD sidearm. With the submachine gun, it says range weapon. When you shoot with this weapon, you can target 1 additional enemy in the target area. If you roll a skull when using this weapon, flip this card in addition to the normal effect of the skull result. Now, they have a health of 6, the rampaging Frogmonster, and this is going to be his first action, so I think he's just going to make 2 shoot actions. Yeah, he's going to use the submachine gun first. Why not to try to empty this, empty the clip into this frog? Let's go to dice box and see what happens here. For rolling dice, he originally would have 3 orange, but because of that bird, which is horrible, he has to downgrade 1. So therefore, he's going to shoot with this. Like I said, it's been a while, so I was going to choose the submachine gun because I thought it'd give extra dice, but it don't. It just means you can target more than one monster in the area. But there's only one monster here, so why would he use the submachine gun? So he's just going to use his BPRD sidearm range weapon. If you roll a skull when using this weapon, flip this card in addition to the normal effects of the skull result. So that's what we're going to do. So therefore, I got to roll this, and blue is the effects die. So I got a BRPD symbol and 3 hits. So if we look in the book for the BRPD symbol, I think that's a wild. It's a wild card. Use as any other effect, die result, or spend it for a special effect. So that's what that is all about. But I'm thinking I'm just going to, that's 3 times 2 is going to be 6. So therefore I hit the Rampaging Frogmonster with 6. He has a resilience of 2. So that would be out. So 6 from 2, so that would be 4 if my math is correct. Because he has a resilience of 2, so he'd block 2, so he has 4 damage onto that Rampaging Frogmonster. There you can see the Frogmonster has 4 damage. He has 6 health, so he has 2 left. And for Scott's second action, he's just going to spend another one of his cubes to shoot again. Why? Why not? Second cube spent. Here we go. Come on, Scott. Got 1 hit. So it's not bad at all. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 hits. The resilience of the Frogmonster is 2. So that's 3 more hits onto him. The Rampaging Frogmonster only had 2 more health left because he has a full health of 6. So because of that, he shot him and he killed the Frogmonster. Good job for you there, Mr. Scott Clark. You are a very good shooter. For Scott, he has 1 more action cube left. I'm wondering if he should just wait and see what happens, or should he can move up to 2 if he doesn't move action. I think he's going to spend it. Why not? This is the beginning of the game, so he can move up to 2 spaces like this if he wants, but he don't want to be in harm's way. He's just moving there, so he's prepared for the next action. And that ends Scott's turn, and now we're on to HellBoy. What is HellBoy going to do, I wonder? HellBoy's just going to do what he does best, which is go in and pulverize. Before I go on any further, I forgot to mention that I did say that you do have like 8 requisition points that you can spend to get requisition cards, but I had 10 in total, and the reason why is because for Scott Clark, he has a special rule, which is military funding. If Scott is taking part in the case, which he is, the agents receive 2 extra requisition credits during the setup. So therefore, we had 10 to spend, and we split up 5 to 5, just so everybody's aware. But we're on the HellBoy's turn now, and he's going to spend 1 of the action cubes. So he's going to move 1 instead of 2, and he's going to make a shot and try to kill this transforming Frogmonster because he only has a health of 4. And HellBoy's pistol range weapon, if the target is hit, it suffers 5 additional damage. And then he flips the card. So that's what he's going to do. The only problem is HellBoy's shooting ability is not good because they're only yellow. I don't know if I should go in and maybe punch him because he has red instead. Actually, yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going here instead of shooting because HellBoy's more of a melee guy. He's going to go up close, and now he's going to give him a good whack with his right hand of doom. And you get 3 red die for that. I'm wondering if I should spend the other 2 to give a big right hook. And if HellBoy does the big right hook, make a fight action. If you hit the target, suffers 3 additional damage and is stunned and hurled, which could be pretty cool. But you can't hurl him any other way except this way because you can't throw him through the door. I don't want to do that. I spent 1 to move in, and then I'm going to spend 1 to do a fight action and punch him with his 3 red dice and the blue. So let's see what happens there. Because that bird is still here, we have to downgrade 1 of our die, so it's 2 red and an orange. No whammies, no whammies, except a big whammy to knock that transforming Frogmonster out. Oh, so he's got a BRPD symbol, which can be anything he wants. So far that's 4. He can change that to this. So therefore, that is 8 hits and resilience of 1. So yeah, that transforming Frogmonster is totally toasted. HellBoy just did it, just like that. Obliterated him with his big right hand. For HellBoy, has one more action cube left. There's no other monsters on the board. They're just that stupid bird. So he's going to spend his last action cube to do what's called a clear action. And just like Frog Swarms, he can clear it out. And that ends HellBoy's turn. That ends the agent phase, and we're on to the rest phase. But with the rest phase, it's kind of meant for taking time. But none of them suffered damage or wounds or anything. And there's nothing else, so we don't have to do the taking time phase. So we're on to the next phase, which is going to be the Doom phase. And the Doom phase is you just simply draw a card from the deck of Doom. Here goes, deck of Doom. This says the Apocalypse Calls. Advance the impending Doom track twice. That is not a good thing. So impending Doom track goes 1, 2, bad, 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 bad. Since we did the Doom phase, the last one is the end phase. And pretty much what you do is all the cubes are refreshed. And if there's any Infernos or Frog Swarms or anything, that is done. But there's no Frog Swarms or Infernos. If there was one of them stupid sinister birds on the board, then it would make a big difference. But it's not, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm just looking in the book to see if I missed anything here. So refresh action cubes, resolve Infernos, resolve Frog Swarms, and other effects. Don't have to worry about that. There's also two as well, like minions have behaviors. Minions in some areas as an agent make a melee attack. Otherwise, brawler minions move towards the nearest area containing an agent that makes a melee attack. Ranged minions make a range attack if there are visible agents in range. If not, they move towards the nearest agent, stopping if a visible agent comes into range. If so, they make a range attack. Cowardly minions move as far as possible from an area containing agents. So again, that's not in the end phase. That's just because we're on to the next round and it's going to be the enemy phase. But just so we touch upon that, it says here, like for the Rampaging Frogmonster, it is a brawler. And this is a range. This is a brawler. And this is a cowardly. So the cowardly would run away as much as they can. But anyhow, we're on to the next round, and it is the enemies. And as you can see, there's no enemies on the board. Since there's no enemies on the board, it's going to be the agent phase, obviously, again. And the first action that Scott does is he's going to examine the clue. Scott Clark don't really have a very good examining ability, same as HellBoy. HellBoy has orange, not yellow, but Scott's going to do that. So we got to roll and compare the results and see what happens. So this symbol here is a reroll, if I'm not mistaken. With the reroll, it means you can reroll any number of test dice. So I'm going to reroll these two because I got 1 there. And again, the only number you can get on it is a 1. So 1 to 2, nothing happens. If I roll 2 more pips, then what's going to happen is that he's going to be able to advance the information gathered by 1. So his first action, he kind of failed because he only got 2. Second action for Scott, he's going to try it again. And that's 2, and 2 is 4. So because he's got 4 now, that is enough. He don't have 6. If he had 6, he'd be able to advance the information gathered twice, but he can only do it once because that's 4, not 6. So he advances it 1. Scott, for his third and final action, I don't know if he should do that again. All right, he can't because that is discarded now, the clue token, which is pretty cool. Is discarded. He has 1 more left. He can move twice if he wants to. Yeah, no. He's going to stay where he is, and he's going to hold off on doing this one for now. So we're going to go on to HellBoy's turn now. HellBoy's going to do a free examine, so he's opening that door. And we have to see what encounter they have. So, Frog Swarm and Minion C are here. And in this room, it's Minion A and a clue. I'll populate and be back. This Frog Swarm is bad because if there's 2 on the board, then it's going to increase the impending doom track by 1. For every 2 you increase it by 1, you have to round down. So obviously 2, it'd be 1. Anyhow, and also 2 as well, if there's any Frog Swarms, you are going to have to downgrade your die 2 as well. So that's not good at all. So HellBoy did the first one. Should he do a range? Or should he just kind of get up and punch away? I'm thinking that's what might be a good idea, because HellBoy's a tank and he's better for punching than when he is shooting, because his shooting is horrible. So I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to spend one of his action cubes to make a move up the hair. And for his second action, he's going to use his right hand. And unfortunately, he's going to get downgraded. So he's going to be 2 red and 1 yellow to try and punch the... actually, I don't know if that's a good idea, because that armed Frogmonster is a counterattack. And so if HellBoy rolls a skull... when making a fight test that targets the enemy, the agent making the test suffers 2 damage in addition to the normal effects of a skull die. Do you know what? HellBoy's going to chance it, why not? So let's go to Dice Box and see if he's going to take care of business by wiping out this crummy, attacking the armed Frogmonster. I lost my train of thought there. Anyhow, let's go see. HellBoy is like, you know what? I'm going to do the big right hook. So he's going to spend the extra action cube. So he used up all his action cubes to the big right hook, which is right here. Make a fight action. If you hit the target, the target suffers 3 additional damage and is stunned and hurled. So if he manages to hit him, he's going to hurl him into here. We got to roll an orange die. This here is a clue. It's not a piece of scenery. And going to take damage from the orange die, and the orange die plus whatever is hit. So that's what we're going to do. So, again, we have to do the stupid downgrade, though, because of the Frog Swarm. Come on, HellBoy. Oh, that's yellow. It's not supposed to be yellow. It's supposed to be orange, because that was my bad there. There we go. That's better. All right. So I can get to reroll any number of die here if I want. So I got 1 effect. If you look at this, I can get a 1 or a 2. The red, I got a 1, 2, or 3. So I'm just going to re-roll this one, see if I can get another one besides 3. I got 1. All right. So anyhow, that's 3, 4, 5. The resilience of the armed Frogmonster is 2. So we're going to have to take off 2, but I still managed to hit him. So I'm going to hit him. And I'm also going, so that's hit him for 3 plus 3 more damage because of the big right hook. And that is going to totally annihilate the armed Frogmonster because he has 6 health. But before we do that, he is hurled into the next room. And on top of that, he is going to have to roll an orange die to see what happens to this one. So he punches him, kills him, he whacks him, he's gone, and we've got to roll an orange die to see what kind of damage is taken from this Frogmonster, the Rampaging Frogmonster. So here goes. None. Oh, damn it. It hit him, but it just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And the stun don't take effect because he's dead anyhow, because we totally killed him. And that ends HellBoy's turn. He can't clear this out, unfortunately. He's going to have to do something to do that. So no damage on him. Clear that out. This is bad. Now we are going on to Scott Clark's activation. And he's going to spend 1 of his energy die to do a move. So he moves 2. And his second action, he is... See... He's going to shoot, but he has orange. He's going to downgrade 1 to a yellow because it's there, unless he clears it. So I think this may be a bad choice, but I'm going to spend 1 action 2 clear because there's none in the same area. But now he's going to, for his third action, he's going to take a shot at the Rampaging Frogmonster. So for his third action, get rid of that one. He's going to shoot to try to shoot at that Rampaging Frogmonster. Does he have anything that he can do here before I do that? No, I don't think so. So yeah, veteran agent. Scott can assist the fight. No, wrong place, wrong time. If an enemy would target another agent, no. So yeah, he's just gonna have his 3 orange die because he get rid of the frog swarm, so he gets his 3 orange die and the blue die. Oh no, he's got a skull. Oh no! I think that the skull means it discontinues. It cancels out one of the die, and if that's gonna happen, then he's not gonna have anything that hit that Rampaging Frogmonster. That's not gonna be good, but I'll check that to make sure. That skull is Catastrophe, and you discard the highest scoring die, which would be this one, so therefore he did nothing to that Rampaging Frogmonster. That is bad, so that means that the 2 of them are sitting ducks. Quack, quack, quack. We are on to the rest phase, but we're not going to do a rest phase because nobody has any damage on them or so forth. So we're going to go on to the Doom, Deck of Doom phase, the Doom track. Oh, and we have to draw one of these. So far, it's advanced by 1. So this one here is Time's a Waste and Advanced Impending Doom track. So it goes up. 1 more. Hey boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, boy, boy. All right. So that is that for the Doom phase. And then we're on to the end phase. And with the end phase, you're going to refresh. And so on and do everything. There's no frog swarms. There's no Infernos on the board. No birds on the board. So we're okay. We're on to the next round. And unfortunately, it is the enemy phase. And we have an enemy on the board. Now, because we're on to the enemy phase, there's only 1 enemy on the board. But if there was more, you have to go by the order of the minions where you activate. Where slot A, I'm swinging over here. Slot A would go, then slot B, then slot C and D, and so on. So that's the way this works. And HellBoy is in target priority right now. So Rampaging Frogmonster, he's going to attack. Now, he don't have a range attack, because you can see here, range is 0. He has to be in front of you in the same area. So he can move 2, and his melee attack is 5, which is bad. So that means he's going to go ribbit, ribbit. Now, because there's 2 of them there, threat value, HellBoy is higher, plus he's in the first into the target priority queue. So he's going to attack HellBoy with his paralyzed tongue. And it does say, if a skull is rolled when testing defense against his enemy's attack, the target agent discards an action cube in addition to the normal effects of a skull rolled, which is not good. So HellBoy has orange for defense, so he's going to have 3 orange, and he also has the blue die. Now, if there was more enemies into this area, he's going to have to downgrade 1 die color for each other enemy in the area, but there's not, so therefore he has this. Let's see, you don't need the skull. Oh, he's got a reroll. That's good. So far, whoop, I flipped it over. That was 1 that he rolled. Now again, you can get a 2 or better onto this. Now if he stays there, then poor HellBoy is going to suffer 3 damage because HellBoy resilience is 2. He blocked. It's 5 damage for his melee, so he'd get 3 wounds onto him. I'm thinking what I should do, though, is keep 1 and reroll these 2 because I got the reroll symbol. Here goes. Oh, so same result. Whoops, that was blank. So that's 3. So he blocked 3, and so HellBoy is going to take 2 damage. That's not too bad. I have them all here. They're face down. So HellBoy, I'm just going to select 2 here. Just grab this one. Oh, I flipped one over. So that's a good idea there. So when this is flipped over after your wound counter is up full, so HellBoy can take 6 wounds of these, and then you would flip them over after you would take another one, so you have other things that could happen very badly. But right now, HellBoy's okay. So he's got 2 wounds onto him for that Rampaging Frogmonster attack. And you know, that's okay. It's okay. HellBoy kind of just, I'll take it. I'm a tank. I can handle this. No problem. I don't know if HellBoy has any kind of ability here. No, he don't. But in either case, he's not going to lose a cube because he didn't roll the skull effect. So that is it for the enemy phase, and we're back onto the agent phase. HellBoy wants a piece of this action because he hit HellBoy and he cut him. He's bleeding. You can see the blood on HellBoy. So HellBoy is going to spend 2 cubes. And he is going to use the big right hook. We already seen that. So he don't get any downgrades. So he is going to 3 red and the blue dot. Here goes HellBoy. You can stun him too as well and hurl him. And you can do 3 extra damage if you hit. So that's a wild symbol. This is actually pretty good for HellBoy because of that wild symbol. Now, when testing fight, spend to result to heal 2 damage. So he can heal 2 damage, hit him for 3. Now the Rampaging Frogmonster has a resilience of 2. So I think that's what he's going to do. So HellBoy is going to spend this to heal his 2 damage. So they're off. And resilience of 2 gets canceled out, but he still hits him for 1. So therefore the Frogmonster is going to get hit for not 1, but 4, because it does 3 additional damage, and he is stunned and hurled. So therefore, this is what happens. Because he hit him, he threw him back into here. There's nothing to bump into. He's not taking extra damage, but that's going to be 4 damage onto this Rampaging Frogmonster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus he's stunned, so he lays down. So when it's enemy phase and they activate, the only thing he can do is stand up and nothing else can be done because he is stunned. And that was HellBoy with his big right hook. Now he has 1 more action cube left. I wonder if he should just shoot him or just hold off. I think he's going to hold off. And we're going to go to Scott Clark's turn. What Scott Clark is going to, he's going to spend 1 of his action cubes and he is going to make a range attack. Now because this enemy is stunned, he gets 1 upgrade die. So therefore, if you look at Scott's, he has 3 orange, he'll get 2 orange and a red to shoot here at this stunned monster. Here goes. So 2 orange, supposed to be 3 orange, but he gets an upgrade because the enemy is stunned. Just don't want a skull. Oh, nice roll. So that's 2 times 2 is 4. The resilience of 2, so there's still 2 left. He only has 2 wounds left, the Rampaging Frogmonster. So that Rampaging Frogmonster is done. Ugh, he's gone. Next thing, Scott is going to spend an action cube to move over here. And now he's going to interact with this clue token. Now we know that Scott Clark is only yellow, but he may spend, actually, he's going to spend this last action cube to upgrade 1 of his die, so therefore he gets 2 yellow and an orange to do an examine. Here goes. Oh, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not 6, but it does increase the impending doom track by 1. So if we come over here, not the impending doom track, sorry, the information gathered, we got 1 of these tokens, which will come into play later on in the game, which I'm not going to talk about right now, but we have 1. That's good. Now, HellBoy has 1 more cube left, so you're going to spend that to move in here. Oh, that's discarded. With Scott Clark, but they're not going to do a free explorer because they'll open this up enemies will come, and then it'll be the next round. On the next round, they'll be able to activate. So we don't want to do that. We're going to keep it like that to be safe. But that ends the agent phase, and now we're on to the rest phase, which we all know that nothing's going to be done. And then we're on to the Doom phase, grabbing a Deck of Doom card. Deck of Doom card, see what it is. From the shadows, advance the impending Doom track. Use target priority to choose an agent, then spawn a minion A in the agent's area. That is a sucky, sucky card. So that goes up to 1. So now we're on 5 for the impending Doom. And target priority, minion A, and it is one that was already put down. He goes right there. So even though they didn't do anything to open to an explore action, there's still going to be a minion that I have to contend with at the start of next round. Lovely. Alright, so that ends the Doom phase. We're on to the end phase, and the end phase is it just refreshed the cubes. And we don't really have to deal with anything else because there's no Infernos, no Frog Swarms, none of the birds onto the board, which is good because it's just the sinister birds, because we don't want one of the sinister birds because they're horrible. They can turn to harpies. And now, that is it. So let's go on to the next round. It is the next round. And enemy phase first, and you can see right there, the Rampaging Frogmonster, yay! And he's going to attack the most threatening one, which is HellBoy, yet again. So HellBoy has to roll for his defense, and his defense is orange, so he gets 3 orange. And the blue die, I don't know if he should spend this to upgrade. Fire resistance, shake it off. When testing a fight, spend, yeah, no. Okay. So yeah, let's just, I'm not going to upgrade. HellBoy's just going to take it because he can. All right. Whoa, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam! And it would be 5 damage that melee attack would be for the Rampaging Frogmonster, so therefore HellBoy, the Frogmonster just whacked him, and HellBoy just looked and said, "What do you think you're doing?" And that was it. That is the enemy phase. Now we're on to the agent phase, and we know what's happening. HellBoy is spending his 2 action cubes to do the big right hook again, to try and flap him. He's going to throw him and maybe kill him. Here goes nothing. Oh, so that's 2 and 2 is 4. And 1 is 5. Rampaging Frogmonster has a resilience of 2, so that's 3 more hits. That's 3 hits and 3 additional hits because of the big right hook, which will give him 6. And the health of the Rampaging Frogmonster is 6. So guess what? HellBoy just totally destroyed him with his big right hand. Bam! He's gone. HellBoy's just going to chill out now, chill, relax. He's not going to spend his last cube because he's waiting to see what's behind this door. So we're on to Scott Clark's turn, and he's doing his free explore action to open the door, and that opens up this one. So let's flip it over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, sorry. So clue, minion A, minion B, and scenery 1. We'll be back after our pop. The room is populated now. On this card, it says Wellspring. It says when an agent successfully examines the clue in this room, they heal 2 damage. So that's really cool. So we shouldn't try to examine the clue until we get rid of these, because if we take any damage before that, they get healed 2. So now that was his free action. Now Scott Clark is going to probably shoot. And it's a scenery, so I think he downgrades, 1 die so we can shoot this Frogmonster here. Or he could shoot at him, and it's still going to downgrade. I have to figure that out. Looking at the visibility rules in the book, Scott Clark can only shoot at this. He can't shoot there because it's going through a wall. And this clue, it's not scenery, it's clue. It does not block or cause any downgrading. So therefore, he can see this Rampaging Frogmonster and shoot at him. So that's what he is going to do, is going to shooty, shooty, shooty. And he has orange dice. There's nothing inhibiting his shot, so therefore 3 orange dice into that Rampaging Frogmonster. Here goes. ×2. Oh, this is like killer. So 2 resilience gone. So that is 2 × 2 is 4. So that's 4 damage to that Rampaging Frogmonster. Has 6 health, but can't do anything. So he has 4 damage onto him. We've seen this before. Scott is a really good shot. And you can see that's 4 damage on the Rampaging Frogmonster. Now, Scott is going to do it yet again, to shoot again. Why? Why not? So here we go again. Boom! Oh my. That is a wild symbol. So we could change this to ×2. So that's 2, 4, 6 × 2 is 12 hits. Like, that is an incredible hit, but it would take 2. So it still don't matter because this Frogmonster just got filled full of lead and lots of holes, so he's gone. Good job, Scott. Good job. Scott has 1 action cube left, and so does HellBoy. I'm thinking they should probably move just to be safe. So HellBoy's going to spend 1 action cube, and he's going to go back here. That Venomous Frogmonster has a range of 2, and he has a movement of 2. So move 2, he's going to be able to still get him unless. I don't know if that's a good idea to do. I'm not sure what they're going to do because neither Scott or HellBoy can see into this room enough to try to get the Frogmonster. So I think HellBoy is going to go, yeah, you know what? I'm going to spend my action cube and 1, 2. It's going to go right there. And Scott, too, is going to go bip, bip. And for his action. And that is it for the agent phase. And then we're on to the rest phase. But they're not resting. They don't really need to do any of that. So we're good. And now we have to do the Deca Doom phase. Oh boy, here comes the nastiness, maybe. Carelessness cause fire. Oh no. Advance the pending Doom track. So we'll do that first. So it's cutting very close to the trigger. Then using target priority to choose an agent, put an Inferno in that agent's area. If their area already contains an Inferno, then choose an agent. Then, in the Inferno, the chosen agent suffers 1 damage instead. Oh no. HellBoy's like, can you smell something? Oh, because the room is on fire. Uh-oh. So that is the Doom, and we're back to the end phase now. And the end phase, they get their action cubes replenished. But there is an Inferno in the room. So because of that, we have to deal with that now. For resolving the Inferno, we have to get rid of 1 scenery piece that is in there. And now we have to roll a die. It's a red die. And it's 1. So 1 red pip. That means, looking on page 20 in the rulebook for that, I kind of started there because I read it, but then I totally forgot what happened. So I just had to kind of refresh my memory on camera. So resolving Infernos. In each area with an Inferno, page 24, remove 1 clue, 1 frog swarm, and any scenery in the area, which we did. Then roll a red die for each Inferno. On a score of 0, it is removed. We got a score of 1. On a score of 1, 2, or 3, each character in that area takes that much fire damage. Now, HellBoy has resistance to fire, so the most that he can take is 1 fire damage no matter what happens, so I got to give him a damage. Additionally, on a score of 3, place another Inferno in each adjacent explored area that does not already contain 1. This new Infernos are not resolved this phase. Ooh, we're just going to randomize and take 1 of the damages. Oop, I almost flipped it over. So HellBoy takes a wound, but only wound 1 because he's fire resistant. HellBoy never suffers more than 1 fire damage from a single attack or effect. So we'll get that red die out of there as a reminder. The Inferno is still there, unfortunately. And that's it that happens into this end phase, I think, because nothing else. So then we are going on to the next round, and that next round is going to be the enemy phase, and we can see a Venomous Frogmonster there. Now, because we're on the enemy phase, he's going to spin around. He has a range of 2, so we don't have to get up close and personal with HellBoy because he is in the target priority. So he's going to stay there, and he's going to attack with his range attack, and he has 5 for his range attack. And he also has an attack called Paralyzed Tongue. And if that happens, that's going to be good. So let's see if HellBoy can do the defense for that. HellBoy could spend one of his cubes to upgrade his defense stuff, but he's not. He's going to stay like he is. So, come on, HellBoy. Oh, no, I got a skull. This is bad. A couple of things happened. So the highest scoring dice is gone. So right now, he defended for 3, but Paralyzed Tongue. If a skull is rolled when testing defense against his enemy attack, the target agent discards an action cube in addition to the normal effects of the result. So HellBoy is discarding one of his action cubes, so therefore he only has 2 action cubes for this round because he has got poisoned. Very bad, but he also defends 3 out of 5, so he takes 2 more damage. There's 3 damage on HellBoy now. That's not good. That Venomous Frogmonster is pretty scary. But that ends his turn. We're on to the agent phase now. HellBoy needs to just do something here. But this is problematic because if he moves in here, it's 1 action. They can only punch him. Ah, jeez. And the Venomous Frogmonster has resilience of 2. So I don't know if he should try to just stay there and shoot. Because if he shoots, he can spend 1 to upgrade at least 1 of his die. Because his shoot is yellow, though. He's really bad at shooting. This is not good. Actually, you know what? Scott's going to go first. Because he needs to do something. So Scott is going to shoot. He's going to spend 1 action cube to shoot. And it is 3 orange. And hopefully he's going to do something to him. Here goes. Oh, that's not too bad. That's 3 times 2 is 6. But we take away 2. That will because of the resilience. So that is 4 damage onto the Venomous Frogmonster. I have a health of 6, so he's got 2 health left. Second action is he's just going to do it again. Why not? Because he's really good at shooting. And he's going to try to take out this Venomous Frogmonster now. Because he only needs 2 more whacks at him. Oh, he's got a skull. That is not good. That is not good at all. But it's only in defense. So this is an attack, not a defense. But that just means you discard that. And this is getting discarded because I get a resilience of 2. So I think what Scott's going to do is spend his 3rd cube to do the same thing. So he's discarding it to shoot again. Let's go. Hopefully he's going to get better. Let's replace that blue die with the other blue die. Here goes, Scott. Last time. Times 2. That's pretty good. So that is 2, 4, 6 times 2 is 12. Take away 2. That Venomous Frogmonster is splattered. HellBoy is going to spend 1 of his 2 cubes that he has to clear this Inferno. So that is gone. And his second one, he is... Actually, I think what I should do, because HellBoy needs to heal too as well. And where we have the Wellspring, which, you know, successful examine the clue in the room, they heal 2 damage. And that would be good for HellBoy. So I think what he's going to do is he's going to, during the action phase, light a candle. By flipping this card, when you do, return a spent action cube to your card. So he's going to spend it to get his 1 of 2 action cubes left. Because HellBoy didn't even do anything yet. And add 1 to the score of your examine or fight test for your agent. Discard when the agent takes time. So therefore, you know, HellBoy's going to spend 1 to move here. And now he is going to do an examine, which he has orange for it to see if he can examine this. If he succeeds, he's going to heal 2 damage. Okay, HellBoy, you got to pass this examine test. Oh, that's 3, so he did pass it. But he don't get, like, a 6, unfortunately. Because he got the 3, this gets discarded. He heals 2 wounds. So let's take 2 wounds off of HellBoy. And the information gather track gets shifted up 1. So close to that, but that's not going to help us that much. That is it for the agent phase. Now we're on to the rest, if they want to rest or take time, but they're not going to do that. Actually, let's take that card out of there because that's gone. Now, since that is done, we're going to go on to the Doom phase now. And I got a feeling that we're going to trigger number A. Unexpected attack. Advanced impending Doom track, obviously. So this right here is going to get triggered. But before we do that, spawn a minion B in the same area as the agents whose target priority marker is at the back of the queue. Oh, so minion A is a Rampaging Frogmonster. And he's going right there. Uh-oh. Okay, so yeah, that's it for that. Now we got to deal with A. So it states right here, if the impending Doom marker reaches a trigger marker, or if all of the agents are knocked out at the same time, skip to the end phase, flip this card at the end of the phase, move this card to the play area, discard when a confrontation begins. So I'm thinking the confrontation is going to begin. And you can see here, if all the rooms have been explored and there are no minions on the board in the end phase, flip this card. Because no, it's a Doom phase. So we don't do this yet, we're doing this one. So this is triggered off. So we got to get rid of this. This card gets flipped over. Actually, let's bring it up here so we can read this. Read if the trigger marker was reached, which it has been. A terrible roar. With a terrible roar, your quarry leaps out of the shadows, scattering you like bowling pins. Each agent is stunned. Set up the giant frog monster in the lead agent's area. Discard, then discard case file cards from the deck without resolving them until you reach the last one. Okay, so let's do that. We'll be back after we do that part. Following the setup for the confrontation, this is the last card that we have to look at now. This is the confrontation. Set it up as described on page 26 of the rulebook. Set up 2 times minions B as close as possible to the boss. The boss for this confrontation is a giant frog monster. Oh, surprise, surprise. Any insight the agents have collected represents discoveries around the nest site that can be used to exploit the giant frog monster's weaknesses. When an agent makes a fight or shoot action that targets the boss, upgrade 1 die for each insight on the confrontation board. Now, with the insight markers, we do only have 1, unfortunately, and the boss has 20 health. Boss behavior deck is here, and you can see here, boss, it's a frog monster, it's a boss, move 2, resilient 4, health 20, range 1, range attack 6, melee attack is 8. Very devastating. Big guy. This enemy takes up the space of 3 characters in its area. It cannot be stunned. Hard hitter. If an agent suffers 4 or more damage from this enemy's melee attack, they are also stunned. Deadly. An agent who evades his enemy suffers 2 damage instead of 1. You can see this is what the confrontation looks like. So where we left off, our 2 heroes have been stunned because he jumped down from the shadows or came out from the shadows. He counts as 3. There's 6 that you could hold in the square, and you have to put 2 minion B, which is the Venomous Frogmonster, as close as you can to the boss. So you can see here, that's 3, that's 4, 5, 6, because you can only hold up to 6 characters or 6 things into each area. So, and you can see we still have our Rampaging Frogmonster, which was here previously, and we have the other Venomous Frogmonster there. This is looking very bleak for our heroes. I don't know if they're going to survive, but we will see. And HellBoy has 1 wound, and surprisingly, Scott Clark has nothing left. No wounds left. But you can see here that we have cards that we can use still, and during this round, there's no rest for this, and there's no doom that you pull over, the doom cards that you flip over, because that is gone out of this. So now we have to try to kill the Frogmonster, the giant Frogmonster, and all the other frogs to survive this catastrophe. So starting on to the next round, it is the enemy phase, and unfortunately, at the start of the enemy phase, the boss always goes first. So the giant Frogmonster is going to go first. So we got to do a boss behavior to flip it over. I'm kind of scared to see what this is. Frenzied attack. Agents in a boss's area. The boss makes a melee attack that targets each agent in their area. Each target is hurled. Otherwise, discard, and draw another one. So he's going to take a melee attack against poor HellBoy, who is stunned, and he's going to be able to hurl him too as well. Now HellBoy is stunned, and that means when an agent is stunned and they're being attacked, their defense, one of their defense die is downgraded. So which means HellBoy has orange defense, but one of the orange is going to be a yellow for downgrade because he is stunned. So you can see there, this is what it means. So HellBoy has to try to hopefully pull something out of his bag of tricks here, because the melee attack is 8 for this giant Frogmonster. Uh-oh. So he defends 2. So HellBoy's got 6 damage onto him. That is not good at all. I want to say it's not good. He already has 1 wound. So he gets 5 hits. Oh, I flipped that over. It's going to be flipped over anyhow. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you flip one over for 6, because you have to go back again from left to right. So he has a minus for his examine. But that's not going to really affect him that much, because there's nothing he can examine. So that's okay so far. But now HellBoy is hurled, and the Frogmonster is going to hurl him. So he whips and hurls. He's going here. Hits the Venomous Frogmonster, though, during the hurl. So what happens is we roll an orange die, and that's how much damage that Venomous Frogmonster is going to take. Give me 3, baby. Nothing. So he takes no damage. Darn it! Now, since the giant Frogmonster has went, it is now each of the minions Frogmonsters should go, and we got to go from A and according. So Rampaging Frogmonster, he's going to go first, which is right here. He don't have to move because he sees the infamous Scott Clark that downed a lot of his friends right there. So he's going to attack Scott Clark exactly like it is. So Scott Clark has a defense of yellow, which is pretty bad. And because Scott Clark is stunned, that means that he downgrades one of his die. He's got 3 yellow for defense. He can't downgrade, but that just means one of the yellow die are gone. So this is super duper bad. Oh boy. Oh, he's got nothing. Times 2 is nothing. So from that Rampaging Frogmonster, he takes 5 damage. Ouch! There's 4. Now we'll flip that one over for 5, but what's going to happen is Scott Clark is going to use his lucky charm. Flip this card to ignore all damage inflicted on your agent by a single attack or game effect. So he is going to use his lucky charm. So therefore, all damage is just ignored. So these are all just taken off, because it is lucky for him. And it also tells me now, when an agent takes time, roll a yellow die. On a blank, discard, otherwise flip it. So therefore, he's not going to take time. because there's no time phase into this, like the rest taking time. So that's going to be flipped back over. I think that's his. I'll double check. That sounds like it'd be broken though. I think this rule is broken because it says here, when this agent takes time, roll a yellow die. On a blank discard, otherwise flip it. But there's no taking time, so therefore, would you just constantly keep it up like this? If that's the case, it would be broken. But I don't think it's interpreted like that. I just think that this lucky charm is just gone. But he managed to pull off the get no wound, so that's a good thing though for Scott. Whew, okay, so going on, Venomous Frogmonster is slot B, so therefore, let's deal with the one here that's standing by, knocked out HellBoy. So HellBoy got a defense of orange, but because he is stunned, he is downgrading his orange to a yellow die. Has a melee attack of 5, so let's see what HellBoy, don't get a skull HellBoy, because that's even worse. Oh, BRPD symbol. Thank you, thank you. So that is 3 resilience plus BRPD that he can turn to like ×2. So when he does that, that's 3 times 2 is 6. And the melee would be 5, so HellBoy does take nothing. Whew, that is lucky for HellBoy. But we have one more Venomous Frogmonster now to attack poor HellBoy, who is stunned. He's in the next room. We don't have to move. So he's going to attack. HellBoy is downgraded 1 die because of the fact that he's stunned. So he's got a BRPD symbol and 1, and he can change that to whatever he wants. So what should I change? Maybe a reroll. Or should I do, because that's going to be 2. No, I think I'm going to do a reroll. I'm going to just chance it. So I'm going to change that to a reroll. I'm going to reroll these 2. And that's 2. So he blocked 2. The melee attack is 5. So 3 gets flipped. Uh-oh. We already have 1 onto him. So now 3, that's 1. So he gets a minus to his range. He gets a minus to his melee. And he also gets another minus to his examine. Uh-oh, that is bad. Not the exam, but the range and melee is bad. When I say bad, that means that when HellBoy's ever going to do either an examine, a range, or a melee attack, it's -1. It's not -1 die, it will be -1 downgrade for each of these. So when he makes a range attack, his range, which is yellow, would mean that he would just lose 1 of them. If his melee is a -1, he's going to downgrade 1 of his red to an orange and so on. So that's what that means. But now, that is poor HellBoy. Oh, HellBoy's in some trouble. So now we are on to the agent phase, and oh, this is not looking good at all for the agents. What are we going to do here? Both of them are stunned. Scott Clark is going to activate first, and because he's stunned, he has to spend 2 action cubes to stand up. That is ouchie, ouchie. He only has 1 left, and he is right there with this Rampaging Frogmonster. So the only thing he can do is he's going to do a fight. And it's orange, so he gets 3 orange for fighting this Frogmonster. Here goes. He only has 1 action, so this is his action. And if he don't do that, if he just decides to move instead. See, the Rampaging Frogmonster has move. He don't have range, but he can move and attack him, so it don't make a difference. So yeah, he's just going to stay there and attack him. So I get to re-roll. So I am re-rolling 2 of the blank. Oh, that was actually pretty good. So that's 5. But the Rampaging Frogmonster has a resilience of 2. So the Rampaging Frogmonster takes 3 damage. That's not bad. You can live with that. There's the 3 damage on the Rampaging Frogmonster. On HellBoy's turn, he too had to spend 2 of his action cubes to stand up because he is stunned. And now he is going to attack the Venomous Frogmonster, which is in his square. And he's going to do his punchy, but he can't do his big right hook or anything. But he's going to punch him anyhow. And because he has the minus to this, unfortunately means that he is going to be downgraded, so it's going to be 2 red and 1 orange. Here goes. Whackety whack. I hope they don't come back. That's 2 hits, but unfortunately they are canceled out because the resilience of the Venomous Frogmonster is none other than 2. So, yeah, he does nothing bad. That ends HellBoy's turn. They can't do the rest phase. They don't do the Doom phase. They go into the end phase. In the end phases, they will get their cubes back. And that's pretty much it. But the good thing about this is at least they're not stunned anymore. So we're on to the next round, and unfortunately, it's the big guy himself is activating first. Boss behavior deck. Gotta flip it over. Seize agent. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Agents in boss's area. There's none. Otherwise, discard, and draw another. Awesome. So I just discard it and draw another one. Throw agent. Agent and bosses there, nothing. Discard, and draw another one. Holy crap. Reshuffle. Discard, then shuffle the behavior deck, discard, pile back into the behavior deck, then draw another card. I'll be back after I do that. Okay, this one is discard. It said discard, then shuffle the behavior deck, pile back in. Shuffle the behavior deck, discard, which is here, and then draw another one. So, pounce. Lead agent is within 2 areas of the boss, and HellBoy certainly is. The boss moves into the lead agent area. If there is not enough room, hurl characters other than the lead agent until there is room. The lead agent can decide which characters are hurled. Then, the boss makes a melee attack that targets the lead agent. He can do it because it can hold up to 6, so he just sleeps, and now he's going to take a melee attack into poor HellBoy. Now, HellBoy could spend one of his action cubes to upgrade one of his defense die, but he's also got to contend with the Venomous Frogmonsters too that are kind of surrounding him, so yeah, I'm just going to do it this way. Probably is the wrong thing, but I'm doing it anyhow. So, it's a total of 8 attacks from the boss monster coming into it, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defense when he takes 2 damage. That's not bad, but unfortunately, this is what happens because there's only 2 left on HellBoy's track. So, HellBoy, poor HellBoy. Knew it was a bad idea, but anyhow, what happens now, because there's no rest phase into this, HellBoy is knocked out, but he's taken off the board, and an action cube of his is put here. Now, at the start of each agent's activation, every knocked out agent that is knocked out, they roll 3 orange die, and if they manage to roll and have no blanks, then they are back up again. Having said that, now we have to go with the minions, and the first one is the Rampaging Frogmonster right here. So he's going to do a melee attack of 5, and if a skull is rolled, then on the defense it's bad. So, geez, Scott has to try to survive this. So he's going to spend one of his action cubes so that he can upgrade from 3 yellow to 2 yellow and 1 orange, just to be safe, and hopefully something's going to happen. So here we go. He's going to block it. Now, this Rampaging Frogmonster is a 5 for his melee attack. Oh, he gets to reroll, so he's going to reroll this one because there's only 1 pips on the yellow dice. So that's 2, 3, 4. So he only takes 1 damage. So we go over to our damage pool. These here are HellBoys, so I'm just going to shuffle them in like so. And we'll grab this one right here. He has 1 damage onto him. Okay, so that ends that Frogmonster. He's not stunned or nothing. Scott's not stunned, I should say. So now we're going on the Venomous Frogmonster. This one here. So he's right here. He has a range. And the range is 2, so his range attack is 5, so he's going to do the same thing. So now Scott has to what is Scott gonna do? You know what? He's gonna just chance it and do the 3 yellow because he don't want to burn up all of his action cubes. So here goes. Come on. At least he might be able to block 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. He blocked 4, and the Venomous Frogmonster range attack is 5, so he takes 1 damage. So let's go over here, grab another one. So now it's this guy here that is kind of hiding behind the bigger giant Frogmonster boss, and he's going to attack 2 as well. Just 2 more damage, so I want to upgrade one of my die. Sorry, my hand was over the mic there because I'm thinking, nah, I'm just going to go the way it is. You can do this. I have faith in you. I really do. Do you have anything that you can do for defense? And that is no. Give me something good. Times 2. So that is 2. Oh boy, I think we're in some deep doo-doo here because it's a range attack. It's 5, so he blocks 2, so he takes 3 damage. So let's go over here. This is a long take. Sorry about that. But that's 1. That's 2. And he blocked 1. So he blocked 2, so therefore he just flips over 1 more. Oh, that is not a good thing. So he's got a -1 shield for when he's defending. And that means that he's going to be only defending with 2 yellow shields. Oh, crap. That is horrible. But good thing is all the minions are done and we're onto the agent phase again. So let's try to do HellBoy, see if he comes back up. 3 orange die. No blanks. No, he got blanks, so he's still down. Poor HellBoy. Now it's all up to Scott to see if he can do some damage. And obviously he's going to stay there and melee him with his 3 orange dice to try to take out that rampaging frog monster. Come on, Scott, you can do it. I got a reroll, so could get. So he got a resilience of 2. He only needs 1 more hit. So I'm just going to roll this one. Why not? 2, nice. So Frogmonster resilience 2. There's 3 there. He already had 2 damage onto him. So, and his health is 6, so that means this rampaging Frogmonster is Gonzola. So he's gone. Let's take that off. It's a good shot for you, Scott. So now I'm thinking what Scott's going to do is he's going to use his submachine gun. Range weapon. When you shoot with this weapon, you can target one additional enemy in the target area. So he's going to shoot right here, and he's going to use his 1 action die to shoot. 3 orange dice to try to do damage on all of them. They're both. And since this is, he's going to spend his action cube to upgrade one of his die. There we go. Oh, that's not bad because that is 2 times 3 is 6. So therefore, you're going to take off 2 resilience for the Venomous Frogmonster. So that's going to leave 4 damage. And the Rampaging Frogmonster got a resilience of 4. I'm not sure how this part works because I never used a submachine gun before, but you can target more than one. So I'm assuming this 6 damage is going to be 6 in each of them. And if that's the case, and again, if I am wrong with this, please timestamp the video, refer to a page number in the book, and explain to me exactly how this submachine gun works. But in either case, okay, so that's 6 damage for both of them. And the resilience of the Venomous Frogmonster is 2, so he's got 4 damage onto him first. We'll deal with that first. Here's the 4 damage on the Venomous Frogmonster, and he has health of 6, so he's got 2 left. And the Giant Frogmonster has a resilience of 4, so his health is dropped down by 2. Oh, but I totally forgot a bad thing here. One of these dies, because we do have this token, he was making a range attack, he should have upgraded one of them. So I'm just going to take that out just so we can, because this could be a game changer. I'm going to roll this red die because I'm upgrading one because I got blank on the other one. So that's 2. So that's 3, 4, 5 times 2 is 10 damage. So that does make a huge difference, and the reason 10 why... 10 minus 2 for that Frogmonster, he still is, or the Venomous Frogmonster, he still can't defend that, so he is gone. He's totally ripped up because of the fury of the bullet just flying through. Okay, so now we have to change his damage too as well. With the adjustment of the giant Frogmonster's health, he was originally at 20 and went down to 18, but the thing is he got 10. His resilience is 4, so that's 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is at health 14 right now. Whew. All right, no end phase happened. No rest phase, no doom phase. So now we're on to the characters get their cubes back. And then we're on to the enemy phase again. And the boss goes first. So we got to draw a boss behavior deck. Here goes. Throw agent. Agent in boss area. Nope. Otherwise discard, and draw another one. Next. This is frenzy attack. In the area, no. So we got to draw another one. Summon minions. Oh, this is so nice. No, it's not. Spawn a minion A and a minion B in the area that is as far as possible from any agent, but no more than 1 room away from the boss. The lead agent chooses exact area. Gotta be 1 room, so I'm gonna put them here, which is the furthest distance away. That's all I can really do. And that's it for that. Now we have to deal with this guy now. And he don't have to go anywhere. He don't have to move because he got range, so he's going to attack. So he's got to defend. What he's going to do, he's going to use his first action to shoot at the boss. And again, because of the marker that we have here, we're able to upgrade one of our die, so the orange goes to red. So here goes. Of course I had to roll that, so therefore that is... But that's still 4. The resilience of that is 4, so nothing happens. He's going to shoot again at the big boss. Oh, this is a lot better. So his resilience is 4, so at least he hits him for 2. So then we go here, and oh, this kind of moved. I hit it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He was on 14. Now 2 more. He's on 12. And now for his third action, before he does, he's going to do field dressing because he got to try to stay in this as much as possible. Spend an action to heal up to a total of 2 damage. So his last action cube he's going to spend to heal up to a total of 2 damage. So the way you're going to heal this is you take off those 2, but those 2 are left. Actually, no, that's wrong. You'd have to flip this one over and then take off 1. So that's how it works. Okay, now we got to see if HellBoy is back in the game. He needs no blanks. No blanks! He's in the game! Where HellBoy is back in the game now, what happens now is his marker is back, but he's in the back of the queue. You can see right here. He got his action cubes left. One of these are flipped over. And now he is able to do something. So, add 1 to the score of an examine. So that's not going to work. Discard when the agent takes time. So that's gone. So we'll just remove that. I'm just reading the cards here on camera. When you make an investigation, rest action, advance information. Okay, that is gone too as well because there's nothing else that can be done. The comm link is gone. Field dressing though, spend an action to heal up to a total. So HellBoy is definitely going to spend an action to heal up to 2. A total of 2 damage from your agent and or another agent in your area. So I had that flipped over, but you actually have to flip this one over. So heal up to 2. So he's going to heal these 2. But he's still got -2 penalty for his range. But his range, he does better damage up close. So that is good. So now this is flipped over. And I can also spend an action to heal 1 damage from your agent or another agent in your area, then discard this card. I'm just wondering if he should do that. Because that's going to be one more. Do you know what? I think that's probably the best thing to do. So he's going to discard the field dressings completely. And he is going to heal up 1 more. So just like that. Woo! Just a quick rules correction there. When you are going to be healing, you flip the rightmost one. You don't go from left to right. It's right to left for healing. For this one, you flip them over. So just be aware, I just fixed that. So I flip these over and I flip them back. So HellBoy's still in the game. And he is going to spend his last action cube to do a Puncho Puncho on the boss. So he got 3 red, because it's a range, it's not going to be any good. So 3 red, because if he uses a range, he's going to have a penalty. So he's going to do 3 red and the blue to hopefully do some damage here. Get a ×2, and then 2 3s would be awesome. ×2, so 2 × 2 is 4, and unfortunately the Frogmonster has a resilience of 4, so nothing happens. Ugh. All right, so then with the rest phase, nothing. Doom phase, nothing. And then it's just a refresh, like so. And we're back on to the next round, and it's the enemy phase. On to the enemy phase, and it is the giant frog monster that goes first. So boss behavior, it's the last one. Then we have to shuffle. Seize agent. Agent in boss's area. Yes, the boss makes a melee attack against the agent in their area. Use target priority if necessary. Don't have to because it's only HellBoy in the area. Put this card in play next to the agent board. While this card is there, the agent can only make fight actions. These must target the boss. If the boss suffers 3 or more damage from a single attack, discard this card. Otherwise, discard this card and draw another. Oh, okay. So he's going to do a melee attack against HellBoy. And HellBoy, as you see, don't have any limitations for his defense. So HellBoy gets his 3 orange dice for that. And its melee is 8. I wonder if he should spend one and upgrade. Do you know what? I think I better do that just to be safe. So I'm going to spend that one of my cubes to upgrade. Whammy, whammy, no whammy. He blocked 2 out of the 8. So HellBoy takes 6 more damage. And you know what that is. HellBoy's going to be knock-all-it out again. Because you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'd go again. So HellBoy is yet again knocked out. Geez, HellBoy's not having a good time. Not at all with this giant frog monster. Love it. There's still the venomous frog monster. Don't have to move, so he's going to attack Scott like it is. So Scott has defense of 3 orange dice. So let's see what happens. Oh, wait a minute. I think Scott's going to spend 1 action cube to upgrade one of his die because he's got to only attack the boss monster now. That is it. Oh, boy. So that venomous frog monster does 5 hits, but he got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So nothing happens to Scott. He just dodged it and laughs it off. Oh, no. But I totally forgot about these. They would do actions. They would move 1, 2. He would have went first, but they don't have any range. He would go 1, 2. And he would attack 2 as well. So I got to roll 1 more for Scott, but he's not going to use his upgrade this time. Oh, so it's 2 and 2 is 4, and 1 is 5. Their range attack is 5, so you can change this to whatever. And it don't make a difference because the thing is it's not touching him. He dodged that one too as well. Good job, Scott. Now it's on to your turn. I think you need to to do some damage too as well. He's going to do the machine. He's going to use the submachine gun for this attack. And because he's spending the one, he's going to spend one more because it's going to be a called shot. So make a shoot action, ignore up to 3 downgrades caused by other characters in the target area or obstructing the shot. So originally he'd be downgraded because of that, but because he spent a 2, he is going to not have any of the downgrades, which is good. An additional enemy in the target area. So we already know about this, and if I'm wrong with that, please again let me know, because I would like to. So this is hitting all 3 of them in the area. So let's see, come on, give me some good stuff here. Oh, nice. So that is a wild symbol. So let's do that to a ×2. So that's 2 × 2 is 4. 4 damage. So the 3 of these are getting hit, and they have resilience of 2, so each of them take 2 wounds. That's 2 wounds each, but I did forget again about the token here. I'm able to upgrade one of my die, so I'm going to do that. So it don't really make a difference because that's 4. It's still going to be the same thing, but just so we're on the same page and that happened. So that is it for Scott. He don't have any more of his action cubes left, so his action is done. And we're on to the end phase because we've got to skip the other ones. They go back. Now we are on to the enemy phase, unfortunately. So the Frogmonster is going to go first. So his sights are focused on poor Scott now. And if Scott gets knocked out, then that just means that the game is over. So spend an action to heal 1 damage from your agent or another agent in your area, then discard. So I'm going to spend one of these to heal 1. And again, it's the rightmost one. Oh, so you take that off. Luckily, because that was a minus cube, that's a bad thing. So this is gone. Or no, the field dressing is gone now. Boss behavior. Here goes. Throw agent. 80 or no, otherwise discard. Another one. Okay, I'm going through this whole thing again. Pounce. Ooh, we've seen this before. Lead agent within 2 areas of the boss, because HellBoy is not here anymore, so therefore Scott is the only agent and the lead agent. The boss moves into the lead agent's area if there's not enough room. Hurl a character other than the lead agent until there is room. The lead agent can decide whether, okay, we already seen this already. Then the boss makes a melee attack that target lead agent. So, let's move Scott back a bit. Yeah, he jumps. He's right there, and he's going to take a melee attack against Scott. And Scott has 3 orange, but because he has the that token there, he's able to upgrade. This one here, it's kind of blended into the board. Correction. This is only for a fighter shoot. He can't upgrade for that. So he's going to keep it like this because he only has 2 action cubes left. He knows that he's going to go next, but still there's a slew of frog monsters that are going to attack him too. So he's trying to defend this. Ooh, that was actually good. So that's 6, that's 7. And the melee attack onto the frog monster, the giant frog monster, is 8. So therefore, he's only taken 1 damage. That was a good roll on Scott. Really good. Alright, so that ends his attack from the giant frog monster. And now we gotta go with the rampaging. Frog monster is going to attack first, and Scott has to defend against that. Let's see if he can do something good here. So he gets to re-roll any if he wants, but he defended enough because it was 5 for melee. So he defended that. So now the first Venomous frog monster, he's on fire. Like, Scott's rolling good, and then I jinxed it. So that is out there. So therefore, Scott is unfortunately going to take 5 damage, and he rolled a defense against enemy attack to target. Discards an action cube in addition. Oh no, so Scott is going to lose 1 action cube, and he also gets 5 damage. So this is bad. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scott, you're knocked out. That is a bad, bad thing for Scott. And the reason why is I said that if the both agents are knocked out in the same round, then the game is over. But HellBoy was not knocked out in the same round. He's knocked out, but he wasn't knocked out in the same round. So he gets a chance to try to come back to life. And if he comes back to life by rolling everything but blanks on this, then we're going to continue. If not, if he rolls one blank, then the game is over, and that means that the Frogmonsters is going to win. Yeah, that was such a horrible roll for HellBoy to try to come back to life. Ah! Sad times. Sad, sad times for the BPRD. They failed this mission because it does say on page 27, if all of the agents are knocked out at the same time, the mission is a failure. A backup team will need to be called in to haul the agents out before things get really bad. Better luck next time. Oh, so that is it. That was a battle to the very bitter end with the two agents, HellBoy and Scott Clark. But unfortunately, they were overpowered by the giant frog monster and his frog monster minions. Ooh. Alright, well, so be it. We'll play this. We'll visit this specific mission. I keep saying this specific mission again so that we can finally just clear it all and win. We're definitely going to revisit this because I don't take defeat lightly. I'm going to come back with guns blazing, both guns blazing, and attack. Probably not going to be HellBoy and Scott Clark because it'd be nice to pick other characters, other heroes to play to try to beat this game. And the replayability of this is so high. You play the same mission and you could have different encounter cards to go up and other things can happen differently. So again, Maniac Games made this, they distribute it, and it was just an awesome, it's just awesome, like incredible that this happened, that they made it, and they made it such, like the creators of this, it's slipped my mind in the name of the company. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna have to find the name of it, who it was that actually created this game, because they did such a fabulous job with creating this, and Maniac Games came out and they produced it and made it, and it was incredible. I had to stop the video because it was bugging me. I knew the name of the company, it was in my head, but it wouldn't come out to my mouth. So the game designers for this is James M. Hewitt and Sophie Williams, Needy Cat Games. I knew it had a cat into it, but I couldn't remember exactly the name, but it's Needy Cat Games. They are the game developers, and Maniac are the ones who put it out there. Thank you very much for creating this Needy Cat Games. Thank you very much, Maniac, for putting this game out. I love HellBoy, just the comic book series as well as the movies. I'm a fan of all of it. And I had so much fun playing this solo mission. So look forward to more solo gameplay for this theme month. And don't forget, if you haven't already, click on the subscribe button and the bell notification to notify when other games such as HellBoy or more solo games become available. Because believe me, this month is going to be chock full of solo games to play, because it is following right after the Gone Digital theme month of last month that Brady took over the channel, and he played a whole bunch of different titles for the digital gameplay. If you want to see Brady play any specific titles, comment below onto one of his, or even just send us an email at BoardGameManiacs@gmail.com, or comment in one of the videos, say like, I would like to see Brady play this title, whatever the title is, for the Gone Digital. Or maybe you might want to see me play one of the games, the digital games, and I will suck horribly because I don't play video games. But in either case, I will still do it if it's requested enough. Same with Brady, will play other game titles if it's requested enough. So don't forget, comment below. Thank you very much for watching. If you stuck it to the very bitter end with us, give us a thumbs up, share it, like it, comment. And again, if I'm making the rules mistakes for this video, comment it below, timestamp the video, and refer to a page number to the rulebook so that I learn as well as other viewers will learn because of you, the viewers and subscribers. I thank you very much. So until next time, Board Game Maniacs, have fun playing HellBoy, the board game. Make sure you clip out a lot of Frogmonsters with your right-handed Doom. And most importantly of all when you're doing it, and that is, be a maniac. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to keep up to date with Board Game Maniacs, click on the like and subscribe button to be notified when more videos come available. If you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, go to patreon.com/BoardGameManiacs. Or you can go to streamlabs.com/BoardGameManiacs1. That's right, and you can donate to help keep the lights on, keep food in our bellies, and play more games. We'll purchase more games, more equipment to make Board Game Maniacs evolve and get bigger and larger because of you, the viewers. I thank you from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head for all of your support. And until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac.